everyone, and welcome back, guys, to episode 10 of my F1 1990s career mode, guys. And today we are here for the second Italian Grand Prix, this time obviously at Monza. Now obviously the first one technically is the San Marino Grand Prix, but you know, they're both in Italy, so what can you do, let's be fair. But here at the Autodromo Nazionale, and hopefully, you know, we can have a good race. We actually managed to win last time out, guys, if you did miss that. And once again, it seems to be a very, very, very wet race here. So, you know, perhaps changeable conditions once again, you know, it could really, really help me out. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see down, you know, during this race, guys. But just trying to have a little fiddle around with the setup, you know, trying to bring the front wing down a little bit lower, as last time, you know, we were struggling ever so slightly on the, the top end speed. You know, we were barely, you know, a couple of the other cars were able to get over the 200 mile an hour mark, and we were barely pulling 199. But, you know, going into the gear ratios, though, I opted to actually keep them at near enough stock, if I'm not mistaken, just so, you know, because I felt last time, you know, the gear ratios, the way they work on this game, you know, the estimated speed is very, very inaccurate, guys. But today, on the grid, then, unfortunately, you know, we start way down the order once again, which is really, you know, not helpful. Obviously, I don't run qualifying in this career mode. I just literally just get put where the game puts me. And unfortunately for me, we have got Nigel Mansell on pole, one of my big now championship rivals. My teammate Schumacher, P5, and then myself, Gerhard Berger, down, unfortunately, in P10 here, guys. But ready then for the Ferrari's home Grand Prix. Now they'll be looking to try and take home a win, but it is 5 lights for the Italian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go, and just struggling to, you know, put the power down there as we get up in towards second gear there. I'm going to flick the car up into rich mix to hopefully give myself a better run down towards turn 1. They're nearly getting squeezed between Alesi and Coulthard there, but trying to find my own braking point into turn 1 there, you know, just trying to keep it clean away from all the other drivers there, with a little bit of the back end kicking out. Have to unfortunately squeeze Coulthard out there just a bit, but we found our way through a couple of positions there. We managed to jump Alain Prost, as well as Jody Scheckter gets squeezed out by Nigel Mansell there. So up to P6 we go, and with a good run on Nigel Mansell, you know, he's completely bottled his start all the way down in P5. So I check it down his inside as Villeneuve and myself try to go right around the outside of Schumacher there. So P4, you know, I spoke a little bit too soon, but we've gone from P10 there to P4 in the first sector of that race, you know, just trying to be a little bit brave, you know, trying to attack under the spray, and we've obviously been able to do that very, very well there, you know, give myself a big helping hand as we move now on to lap 3 of the race. And Eddie Irvine there, I nearly ran into the back of him. That was incredibly, incredibly close, but he has unfortunately bottled the race there, and that leaves us with 1 Jacques Villeneuve and 1 Damon Hill leading the way at this moment in time, guys. You know, hopefully we can close in on Villeneuve here as we come to the end of lap 3. They're setting a new PB in the race, you know, looking fairly strong, but in the slipstream, just look at the speedo climb, 215 miles an hour nearly there on the braking down into turn 1. They nearly run into the back of Villeneuve, but going through the first corner there, you know, attacking the curbs a lot, and Villeneuve unfortunately is going to get a little bit caught out there. It's a drag race down towards Curva Grande here, and what are you going to be able to do around the outside of Jacques Villeneuve there? We've got slightly longer gears, and we're going to be able to go right around his outside of Curva Grande there. Absolutely brilliant move, if I do say so myself. But, you know, with the extra top speed, and we've moved up to P2 of this Italian Grand Prix there. Very, very happy with that. But now moving on to lap 5 of the race. You can just see the rain is getting a little bit less at this moment in time.
The weather situation seems to be improving slightly. We could take a chance and switch you to inters if you want.
So that is a very interesting call from the team there, and that is actually what I'm going to opt to do at the end of lap 6. So I'm going to dive into the pits, move on to a set of the intermediate tyres to hopefully, you know, finish off this Grand Prix. But it's an interesting gamble from the team. You know, they were right the last time out, but, you know, hopefully they can be right again. But just about ready to leave our pit box there, and unfortunately, you know, Damon Hill still able to head out in the lead of this Grand Prix, but out to the end of the pit lane there. And we've come back out in P7 here. And, you know, these first couple of laps are going to be crucial to see how, you know, this car fares in these new conditions. And just look at the understeer straight away there, you know. Obviously, you can't really base it fully on first impressions, but that straight away, you know, I was feeling a little less confident with the car, you know, is it just understeered straight off there, down towards turn 1 there, you know, not exactly ideal, but, you know, hopefully, if we can generate a bit of heat, you know, maybe these tyres might not be as bad. But coming to the end of a lap 7 here, and, you know, still struggling to put the power down. You know, the track was looking fairly dry on the whole, but you can just see Alain Prost in the Williams here, just going to try and look past me, but down obviously this long front straight with pretty long gears. You know, he might actually struggle to, but he's getting a good run side by side down towards turn 1 here, and unfortunately for him, we're able to go ever so slightly later on the brakes there. But just look, we've lost out a couple of positions there to Eddie Irvine and Jacques Villeneuve here, and this car is just not able to create the heat, the temperature, and the grip that we really need there. As Alain Prost going to dive it up the inside, down to through Curva Grande here. Is he going to be able to make the position stick, you know, as we run through the corner there? He outbrakes me ever so slightly there on the outside, you know, I'm going to have to concede the position as we lose the back end once again there, so down to P5. Unfortunately we go, and by the end, unfortunately, of lap 10, you know, we'd lost, or we were all the way back down to our starting grid position here of P10 in the race. But, you know, this is where, you know, our race started to turn around just a little bit here. You know, you can just see the engineer there saying that we were quicker in Sector 2 there, but Schumacher brakes ridiculously early there down into the final corner here. So, you know, it's starting to get a little bit clear that the full wet tyres are not now creating the grip that they need through the final phase of this race. You know, with 3 laps to go of this Grand Prix. Now, am I able to close in to some of the top guys here? As you can see, moved up another position there as someone has retired from this race. But we're 1.6 seconds back from Jean Alesi here, you know, but this could really be a good turning point in this Grand Prix. A big chance to try and score some points there as Jean Alesi completely parks it through turn 1 there. Up to P7 I go. And, you know, this could really be, you know, a good final, you know, sort of little surge in this Italian Grand Prix here. So, you know, we're going to have to wait and see how many positions we can make. But next up on my hit list, David Coulthard here up in P6 as we dive it down into the second chicane there. You can just see how slow he is as we dive it up his inside towards the first Lesmo there. Up to P6 we now go there, so 2 positions in the first 2 sectors of this Grand Prix as I ran a little bit wide through the first Lesmo there, but through the second one get a very, very nice run and down towards Ascari now. And next up on my hit list will be my teammate Michael Schumacher here. And, you know, we've got barely just over a lap to go in this Grand Prix, but we're going purple at this moment in time, and you can just see the amount of time we gain through Ascari here. We're going to be able to look straight past my teammate Michael Schumacher down towards the final corner there, flicking up into Rich Mix to try and give myself a better run there. But unfortunately, we get caught on the grass and only make, well, we do make contact with him there, down in towards the final corner there. But we hold on for now and we move up to P5 in this Italian Grand Prix there, out through the final corner, and we're going to set a 1 minute 28.8 there. So the gap to the top guys is coming down absolutely massively here. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we're still down in P5 at this moment in time. You know, if we nail this final lap, you know, the track's only getting drier, and, you know, hopefully we can try and make a few more positions up on this final lap of this Italian Grand Prix. There is Nigel Mansell, you know, everyone incredibly slow, my championship rival at the moment, as we go right around his outside it through Curva Grande there, up to P4 in this Italian Grand Prix. And, you know, next up, Alain Prost, who is currently on the podium in this Grand Prix. We lose the back end ever so slightly there through the second chicane and down towards the first of the Lesmos here. And, you know, you can just see visibly how much we are closing on Alain Prost here. He parks it a little bit through the second Lesmo there. We accidentally give him a little bit of a tap, you know, as he was just a lot slower than we anticipated there. But up to P3 we go in this Italian Grand Prix. So we've been able to recover all the way back up to a podium in this race, but diving it down now into the third sector here. And Eddie Irvine now is so slow through Ascari there and down towards the final corner of the Grand Prix there. What are we going to be able to do down into the final corner of this race? Going to have to try and go for the move there, but Eddie Irvine brakes ridiculously early there. And I was not going to take that, you know, understandably. I'm not going to try and edit that out or anything there, but unfortunately, Eddie Irvine just broke stupidly early there, down in towards the final corner there. So, you know, I didn't really, you know, felt that was worth penalising when he probably gave himself twice the braking distance that he needed there, guys. But through the final corner of the Italian Grand Prix, unfortunately, you know, we've just missed out on the race win there, but P2, what a brilliant recovery drive. But there we are then, guys, the end to the Italian Grand Prix. Just 1 second off Damon Hill right at the very end of the Grand Prix there. Unfortunately, you know, that wasn't exactly what I wanted from that race. You know, the race win could have definitely been on the cards there, but unfortunately that means that Damon Hill pulls out another 7 points overall in the standings. But we did close in on Nigel Mansell there quite nicely, as he had a bit of a torrid race there from P1 on the grid to P5 overall there in that race. But, you know, unfortunately the Ferrari's unable to get a race win there, but we had 2 of them on the podium there in that race. Jacques Villeneuve as well, one of my other rivals, not able to make it to the finish of that Grand Prix there. But, you know, hopefully, you know, moving on into the final 5 races, I think it is, of the season, you know, we should be able to try and, you know, I want to get a couple more wins. You know, this car is actually very, very difficult. You know, it's not one of the quickest cars. You know, those 2 Williams are just ridiculously quick there. But, you know, happy that we could be able to take home P2. But if that race was just 1 lap longer, you know, we would have been able to take home the win. But having a look then at the driver's standings there, we are now just 9 points behind Nigel Mansell. You know, it only takes me to finish first and him to finish in P3 there. But Damon Hill, he's got nearly a 50-point lead over Nigel Mansell. So, you know, we're going to have to expect a lot of bad luck from him in the final closing rounds of this season, guys. But we've now got a 30-point lead over Jacques Villeneuve, I think that was behind me. Or it might have been, you know, another driver. I might have just not been able to read that. But having a look at the constructors, you know, we'll hold on to P3 at the moment. And we're closing down on the FW14B team there. So, you know, hopefully we can try to close them in during the final few rounds of the season, guys. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe if you want to see more of my F1 1990s career mode, guys. And I will see you next time for a brand new video.
Yeah.